Hello and welcome to From Market to Table. Today, Seafood Sam's going to start us off with a coleslaw.
Good, yeah, I'm going to start here a apple-cranberry coleslaw. A little different take on some coleslaw, but it's going to go really well with both our dishes today. It's sweet,
Sounds great.
It's got a lot of color for the springtime, and it's super easy to make. So we'll start off here. We got one 10-ounce bag of just shredded cabbage. And then we have one apple that I sliced thinly, a gala apple. I mean, if you want it sweeter, I don't know. What are the other apples? I'm not a big apple connoisseur.
Pink ladies,
but
depends on the taste, but the Gale is a very good eating apple, a nice sweet taste.
Very sweet taste. Then we have toasted pecans, dried cranberries. We're going to do a half cup of both of those. 2/3 cup of a coleslaw dressing, just bottled coleslaw anywhere you find off the shelf. And then a red cabbage, which I shredded. We're just going to use 1 cup of that. So those are just our ingredients, real simple. It's going to be real quick. And we're just going to throw it all in the bowl and mix it up. It's got a lot of good color. And it's a different take on coleslaw, but it's got a nice sweet flavor. And then the pecans give it some nutty flavor. It's good.
I can't wait to try it. Sounds great.
That's good. It's fast, easy. And for the springtime, you can't beat it. Everyone coming over or whatever, or just your family is going to be really happy with it. It's really good. Really good. So, pretty simple. We're just going to add all our ingredients in. We're going to mix it up. And that's going to be about that for our coleslaw. And our 2/3 cup of dressing here. Now we don't like this one. We don't put too much dressing in. It's kind of like a drier coleslaw, but it's not real dry. You know what I mean? If you wanted, you could add more coleslaw dressing. It's going to be a little wetter.
Okay.
It would all depend on what you wanted. But it turns out more like kind of like a salad, sorta.
Yeah.
Like a look, just with a light dressing to it. But it looks real good, and it goes well with what you're going to do with the pork. You're going to do. It's going to look really good with that.
Absolutely.
With seafood. And it's got a lot of good spring color to it for the spring.
Well, while Sam's getting that mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm doing a pork tenderloin medallion with an apple cream sauce. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the pork tenderloin, which we've cut into about inch-thick slices, and I'm pressing it down to get it into about a 1/2 to 3/4 inch thick. And you want your slices to be even so they cook evenly. Then I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on them. And we're going to do both sides, but I'll go ahead and get these going in the pan here. You're just going to do about 80 seconds on each side of the pork. You want to get it to have a nice golden brown on it. And you don't want to mess with it, just let it cook.
That's some really nice looking pork. Like you said, the medallions are real nice. They're all going to cook the same too because they're evenly cut.
Exactly.
They look good.
All right, they're starting to get nice color to them. We're going to try one here and see. Yep, it's got that nice golden brown on it, so we're ready to turn these over. And then when they're seared on both sides, which again about 80 seconds, depending on the heat of your pan, to 90 seconds on each side, then you're going to plate them and set them aside. We're going to give them just another little bit of time here. What you want to do is, again, that golden brown, and on the sides, you want to start to not see any pink anymore. And it looks like we're there. All right, we're just going to set these aside, and we're going to start our sauce right in this same pan. We're going to start out with a tablespoon of butter.
That's nice, and a lot of the pork that was left on there is going to add a lot of flavor to your sauce. It's going to be really good.
Exactly right. Yeah, when we get a little bit further here, we're going to break up those brown bits on there to get those mixed in with the sauce to give it a nice flavor. So we've got our butter melted. I've got a Granny Smith apple here that I've cut up into probably about a dozen slices. And then half of a medium onion sliced thin. And you're going to take about 4 minutes here. So, Sam, if you want to get started on your swordfish or your salsa.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start
great.
the salsa here. I've got an orange avocado salsa, a little bit different take on a salsa, but it's going to go really well with our seafood. It pairs really well with the swordfish steak, a tuna steak, the mahi steak, stuff like that.
Sounds great.
And I mean, all those steaks, we're going to jump to that here in a second, but like we had talked a couple of shows ago, that's a really good fish to grill. We're getting into grilling season.
Absolutely.
You can jump into those, but it's killer. This salsa is going to go really well with that stuff. Again, this salsa it's just a couple steps. I like the quick and easy recipes,
Absolutely.
easy salsas, easy to do at home. It's about 5 ingredients, so we'll go ahead and get that started. But we've got one orange that I kind of diced up into small pieces, not too small, but not big enough where they're not bite size.
Yep.
So we got one orange, one jalapeno pepper here. That's going to add a little flavor to it. I cleaned it out, took the seeds out. It's not going to be too hot.
Okay.
If you don't want it as hot, you could steam it, take some of the heat out of it. That all depends. But I like them fresh, just like that. We got 2 tablespoons of a red onion. We just minced up, fresh red onion, really good. Can't beat that. 2 tablespoons of some fresh cilantro. This is going to give it a really fresh, good taste. The cilantro,
Absolutely.
the parsley, those kind of greens, which are really good this time of year. And then we've got one avocado here, which I am just going to cut up. Now the reason we didn't have this already cut up, because if you cut your avocados up too early, I mean, they're going to get a brown color to them, which isn't really what we're looking for. So I'm just going to dice this up into bite-sized pieces. And the only thing we'll have left other than that is our lime, which we're just going to add about 4 teaspoons of lime juice, fresh lime juice. I'm just going to squeeze it in there, a rough estimate. But because you can't beat the fresh lime juice compared to stuff in a bottle. Bite-sized pieces, looking good. And we'll just add that right in there. And again, it's so simple, and everything in here is so fresh. It's a really good salsa. Everything's
Absolutely.
fresh, just what we're looking for. Set it up. Piece of avocado. Get us some nice lime juice in there. Catch the seeds if there are any. Come on, a little bit more. It's just going to add some more freshness to it. You can't beat it. It's so good. Everyone at home is going to be happy tonight. And we will just give that a nice little toss here. And it's got a lot of colors. It's fresh, a lot of colors, so easy. And it's gonna pair really well with our swordfish steak. Again, you could use tuna steaks, you can use mahi steaks. Any kind of fish you wanna grill, this will go really well with. I mean, anything else will go well with too. Anything outside. It doesn't have to be seafood. I mean, your pork would probably go well with this. Just fresh stuff you're grilling. It's killer and everything. Everyone's going to be happy, I'll tell you that. But it's got a lot of color and it looks really good. It's simple.
Excited to try it. All right, next up, we're going to add, whether you have apple juice, apple cider, a Red's apple ale, whatever apple liquid you want to put in. I'm just using an apple juice today. I'm going to put 1/3 of a cup in the pan. And we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of apple jack, or if you have brandy at home, that would work fine too. We're gonna cook that for about 2 minutes, just scraping the bottom of the pan, getting all those brown bits of the pork mixed in with our sauce. Going to give it a great flavor.
It looks really good. It smells good too.
All right. Now I'm going to increase the heat to high, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sage, fresh sage that I've minced. Just about ready for that. You want this liquid to get a thicker consistency, which we're getting there. All right, I think we've got it where we want it, and we're going to add our chicken broth. And our sage. And we're going to take any of the juices from our pork, and we're going to get those in here too. Don't waste it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This is going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, getting a more syrupy, thicker consistency before we add our next ingredients.
It looks good. It really did, like you said, it pulled all the brown stuff off the bottom. Now that's all in our sauce.
And give you that flavor.
Yeah, lots of flavor, and that sauce is going to be killer. Lots of flavor.
All right, next up we're going to be adding 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Help this along. All right, we're getting that thicker consistency here. So we'll go ahead and add our cream. And you're going to cook this until it's reduced by about half the volume that you have there, approximately 2 minutes. All right, while that's cooking down, the next step that we're going to take is we're going to take our pork tenderloin medallions that we've set aside, and we're going to be placing them into the sauce, cooking for about 3 minutes.
Those porks, they're really nice now. They've been resting. The meat's going to be very tender because they've been resting now for about 5 minutes. And when you finish them in the sauce, they're going to be so tender. They're going to be perfect.
Absolutely. All right, looks like we're ready for our pork. You don't want to start off with any pieces that are bigger or thicker that need a little more cooking time. And we're going to turn the heat down a little bit, probably about medium. And you want to turn your pork to get it coated in the sauce. I'm going to cover that for just a little bit to make sure that pork gets cooked all the way through.
It looks good. It really does hold the sauce. The sauce is nice. Like you said, it's thick. It's going to stick to everything.
Absolutely.
And the pork's going to just soak it up. It's a killer.
So once you put the pork in, you're going to be about 3 more minutes of cooking time. I covered it to try to make that go a little bit faster. Sam, next up, you're going to be doing a swordfish steak.
I'm going to do a swordfish steak here.
Okay.
Really simple. I'm not going to do anything crazy with it. Just a little olive oil in the pan, a little salt and pepper. And we're going to cook it for like 1.5 minutes on each side, real fast. I'm going to go like medium on it, roughly. It's the same as a tuna steak. If you want it medium rare, most restaurants serve it medium rare. The tuna, the mahi, the swordfish, you can eat that stuff that way, medium rare, medium. So if you're grilling it, pan-searing it, you can cook it to your desired temperature.
Okay. I'm just about finished here, so I can give you this burner.
Good. I'll go ahead and I'll salt and pepper these right now while you're finishing that up.
Okay.
And we'll get those going. I got a little olive oil in the pan already. But that's all we're going to do. If you want to use butter, you can use butter in the pan.
Okay.
And you could add any spices to your tuna steaks or your swordfish steaks. Any spices you really wanted to. Will go a long way. Spices,
Excellent.
you can't beat it. So we got that, salt and pepper. Once you get that finished up.
Just going to give this pork a little bit longer.
Yeah,
It's still a little soft in the middle. Just like a steak that you're cooking on the grill. You know, the way you'll be able to tell if it's done is you press on it and how much give it has. And it has a good bit of give, so we want to give it just a little bit longer. Now, just like a steak, it's going to cook once you take it off, too.
Right.
It'll continue to cook through.
It will.
So, just about done here.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and pull these off for the sake of showing. If we need to throw them back in, we'll do that.
Sure.
So now we're just going to plate these up. Then we're going to take our sauce and we're going to just pour that over top of it. And there you have it.
That looks really good.
Thank you.
This is really hot.
Let me start that for you.
Holy cow.
Here's a hot.
All right. Get that going. And again, like I said, it's going to be like 1.5 minutes on each side. We're going to let our olive oil get hot here. we have our tuna steak or our swordfish steak seasoned.
While you're waiting for that to get hot, also you can add some salt and pepper to this to taste.
Looks good. I don't know about you, but that's something I'd like to have for dinner.
Yeah, I'm excited to eat it. I had it for dinner last night. We're going to be having it for lunch today too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So we got our olive oil. It's getting pretty hot here, and we're just going to drop it in there. It's going to be real quick, simple. It's going to get a nice brown color on each side. We'll show you that here. But here, a little sizzle a little bit. Now, if your pan's not like crazy hot, it might take a little bit longer than a minute and a half. You'll know. You can see whenever you cook like the steaks like this, since they're cut like this on the sides, and kind of the same with the pork, you can tell when they start to color through just by looking at the side of it. You know what I mean? If there's pink on the side of the fish, then you'll still know. But with this swordfish, you'll see when we're watching it here, it'll go from bottom to top. It'll turn white, and you can tell it's cooking through.
Okay.
And then we'll flip it. So I go, once about halfway through, it turns white, maybe not quite halfway through, then I'll flip it over.
Okay.
And then finish it. It'll do the same thing on that side, and then we'll know that it's pretty close to our desired temperature, depending on how
Which is,
like it
this
cooked.
is pretty much how you can cook almost any fish.
Yes,
Some people
correct.
are concerned about doing it seafood home. I don't know how to do it. It's easy.
It's so easy.
It's
It really
easy.
is. It really is easy.
Yeah, and it's fast. So seafood's a great meal to make at home.
Yep.
Fast and easy.
Yep, that is true. Oh yeah. Let that go. And like I said, you can see it kind of up here. It's starting to turn white through here. We're going to let it go a little bit longer on each side, and then we'll flip it and go another minute
Do you
or
want
so.
this lid? You're good.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right. And then we will flip it, let it do the same thing. And what we're going to do with this, actually, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to lay it over the salsa, and then I'm going to put a little bit more salsa on top, and we're just going to serve it with the salsa.
Sounds great.
There's a lot of other like scampi sauces or anything else you could do the same thing with and serve right over top of your fish.
Okay.
Or you could serve it on the side. It would all depend. It doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and give this beast a nice flip here. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for.
That looks
color.
good.
That color is what we're looking for. We'll let that go a little bit longer. As you can see, our middle here is still just shy of medium rare. So if we go another minute and a half, we'll be about medium, which that's how I would order it.
Absolutely.
It would all depend on what your preference would be.
Do you want a cutting board for when you get that out?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
got this one.
Okay.
I got this one right here. And we will finish that off. We'll keep going. I like the tuna. These are like some of my favorite fish. They're very simple to cook. They're very fast. On the grill, they hold up like steaks.
Yep.
So they don't flake apart. And I mean, I think it's one of the easiest fish just for that reason.
Absolutely. All the
They-
steak fish, the tunas, the
Right,
swordfish,
I
the shark.
agree. I agree. So I'm just gonna sear our sides here. And then we're pretty close. And it's the same thing like with the pork, the steak fish, you can feel it.
Yep.
You know how much give it gives and what temperature you're at.
Try not to cut things open.
I agree.
To look at
agree.
temperature. Try to learn by that technique
Yep.
of where you're at. And also you can use timing, but pressing on it is the surefire way, because whether the temperature is different or
Yep, I couldn't agree more.
if you're grilling outside and there's a cold wind, that can change your time.
Yep. So I'd say we're pretty close to our desired temp here. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. And something at home, if you wanted, this is another thing you can let rest. Like you can cook it medium rare and let it rest. When you do that, it's gonna be a lot easier to slice whenever you cut it, because it's rested for a second. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it anyway. And then we're just gonna serve it right over top of our salsa, and then we got lots of colors, we got lots of good meals. Everyone's happy.
That looks great.
Coming over. Oh yeah. And they cut so nice, the steaks do. So we got that cut. We're just gonna fan it over our. It's still a little medium rare, but that's all right. Like you said, a lot of restaurants, that's how they serve it.
That's how I would actually like to eat
that's
it.
That's how they serve it. So we're gonna do that. Looks real good right over there. And we'll take a little bit of this right on the top of it. And we're gonna call that dinner.
That looks great, Sam. Absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic. Well, hopefully you got some fun new items to try. We've got a swordfish, a different kind of coleslaw, a fruity coleslaw, and a fruity salsa, and then a pork tenderloin medallion cooked down in a apple cream sauce. So I hope you enjoy, and until next time, I'll see you at the market.